Holy shit, protein. I mean, come on. It has got to be one of the biggest conversations that, I was thinking as I was writing through all this stuff that protein, it is all consuming, okay? It is definitely a consumption part of the conversations that I have today, although it's reversed. It has always been part of the conversation, even when I was eating meat. It is still those same people or the same concept, except people are worried or concerned or asking me questions about where's the protein going to come from? Where are you getting your protein? I'm very concerned about your protein. Is your skin going to be okay? Do you have any muscles left? The reality is, it's all bullshit. You don't need to consume as much protein, and you don't need to be as worried about my protein as you are, okay? So let's just leave it at that. Except, let's not. What I'm hoping that you do is take something from this couple-minute rant that I've got here. This was an accident. I didn't really intend on making a video, not in this way. I do think this is an important topic, a very important topic, and I will continue to do research and bring anything that I can. My point here is I want to try and take some of the research and the reading and the experiences that I've had and present them to you so that hopefully it resonates. Is what I understand about protein today, if I'm having this question, if I'm confused, or if there's so much rhetoric and bullshit out there that I keep hearing and that people asking me over and over again, where are you going to get your protein from? Where's that going to come? Well, the reality is that you might start asking yourself that same question, like, holy shit, I don't know. I mean, where is that protein going to come from? Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. I appreciate you watching, and go ahead and continue, because maybe today is the day that you will be convinced otherwise. So here's a question for you. Where do cows get their protein from? Have you ever asked yourself that question, or has anybody ever asked that question to you? To me, it was one of those ones that came up and it really made me go, well, I can't believe I've never thought of that before. Also, primates. I mean, that's another good example. Some of the strongest animals in the world, I forgot, I think they're 8 or 10 times stronger than a human being, and yet we don't have any concern or even fascination on where their protein comes from. If that simple statement or question doesn't make you wonder, then my guess is that you're probably not open to believing anything different than what you believe right now anyway, and this video's most likely not going to change your mind. And listen, you're going to believe what you're going to believe. I think if you want to believe that you'll never be able to get enough protein if you move to a plant-based or a vegan diet, then it's going to be hard for somebody to convince you otherwise. If you're open to an understanding of maybe that is what I believed before, because it certainly is what I understood, and you're open to another way of thinking, then give it a try. No one has ever died from not getting enough protein. So if that is the thing that's keeping you from moving to a plant-based or a vegan diet, or even just doing it more often, then I would say you're not open-minded enough. And I think you're missing out. We'll share actually what I was looking for. Let's be totally real with each other, shall we? I was just dumping these out. These right here. Okay? Bing. And a couple points I want to bring up. I want to make. See if I can get my face in here. Not that I want to. Make all of you jealous. This is a good point, right? Because the thing that comes up all the time is about protein, right? Protein. Where are you going to get your protein? How come you look like you're depleted of protein? Well, first of all, you're not. I don't know why everybody's so freaking worried about protein anyway. I mean, people that, like, why should someone worry about my protein? Anyway, I'm not going to get on a rant. The point is, just in this little can of beans, if I can get this thing to focus, beep. Ah, look at that protein. Per serving, there's 3.5 servings in here. What I was originally looking at was the sodium content. But this is pretty standard across. So, that's 21, whatever, 23 grams of protein in this can of beans. Not that you're just going to eat this can of beans, but it's actually also about all of the other nutrients that are in here versus maybe some of these other places that you're going to get protein. But this is going to be, that kind of content is going to be similar with any kind of beans or legumes or any other type of, like chickpeas, for example. Lentils are even higher than that. And I just wanted to point that out because people say, well, where are you going to get all your protein from? I say, well, when was the last time you looked at a can of beans to see how much protein is in that? Let's not even get started, and maybe we will in another video. But I guess a whole nother topic of conversation is, why do we think that we need that much protein to begin with? So, if you start with that question, it's unbelievable how many people, that is one of their first questions. So where do you get all your protein from? Are you sure you're getting enough protein? I don't know why, unless they're your health professional, they would even be that concerned with it. It's almost like that's the only thing that they have heard or understand to ask. But it also illustrates just how much like FUD and bullshit is out there about people that don't know anything. That I mean, this has happened and still happens a lot. I've been plant-based for a little over 6 years. So, I mean, it's when it's introduced for the first time to somebody that I'm plant-based, that typically is the first question I get asked. But it just really kind of shows or highlights people have this backwards and they don't really know. And I get it. It's not that they're, some of them are stupid. Okay, there's no doubt about that. But the reality is it's fucking confusing. Okay, excuse my language, but it is bleeping confusing. And you really got to spend time even just trying to figure it out. And so, I guess that's when I just want to help clarify some of that stuff. If you care, I mean, if you are watching this, obviously you're interested or somewhat confused or whatever. I don't know, but I'm happy to talk more about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to include in the, again, I love it when people do this, in the thing below. What if they're watching it upside down? Then it's up there. I don't, I guess people don't watch it upside down a lot. If you have back problem and you're on one of those straightaway things. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I will include, because I definitely have some really simple articles and some really simple information to back up what I understand and what I've learned and read about protein, and I think would help you if that is something that you're concerned about. It's a real concern. I don't want to come off or discredit anybody's. First of all, I believe that everyone seems to have this understanding, and that is really a lot of that has to do with what Lindsay Nixon has called marketing magic. And what that is what has been pushed to us is not exactly reality. If nothing else, I mean, I'm not trying to revolutionize the world here. I'm just trying to present information as I understand it and the experience that I've had. And hopefully it's done something to you watching, that it has ignited some interest to learn a little bit more. I am going to put as much information about protein and a whole food plant-based diet and protein and a vegan diet as I can in the description below, so that you can see some of the things that some of the places that I've learned what I understand about it. I'm going to get back to making this dish here, loaded with protein, by the way. I guess the point is, be open-minded. Please, do yourself a favor and go out and try and uncover some reality here, because we have been fed some bullshit and it is not right. And so this was just a rant. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do the thing. If you didn't do the thing, I'll have more of these. Don't you worry.